Hey, buddy.
Hey, there he is.
I'm right here.
Hey, good to see you.
You too. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Listen, I've been looking so forward to chatting with you because there's a lot of things on my heart today. I've got to be honest with you. Not to say I'm normally not honest, but I'm really honest with you today.
Well, always good to see you too. It's great to be here. It's been a good couple of weeks.
It has.
Yeah.
And of course, a couple of weeks come and go with good friends over some coffee. And I know there's a lot to talk about. So first of all, what's been happening with you, my brother?
Let's see. Since we last met, I spent about a week in Denver for an industry trade show. My first time there, which was actually really cool. It was about a 300-person event.
Okay.
I'd say maybe 100 exhibitors and allied people, and then a couple hundred dealers, car dealers. And what they did is they set up a media booth for us out in the hall. So it was at the Colorado Convention Center.
Okay.
And which I don't know if you've ever seen, but they have this giant blue bear outside. I'm talking like a 30-foot blue.
Yeah, you can't miss it. You can't miss this bear.
And it's like peeking in, right?
Oh, no way.
It's very ominous, but it's really cool.
Huh.
So it's in the convention center where the Denver Auto Show is. It's the same association, but they set up a nice media booth for us. And then, Mike Phillips from
Great guy.
Lead the team.
Yeah.
So he is near Denver. He's in Colorado Springs. So he met me up there, and he ran the control room, basically the stream and the broadcast. Yeah. And we did over 20 interviews over 2 days.
No, wait, hold on. You guys seriously are like the dynamic duo. I mean, knowing Mike just a little bit, knowing you a whole lot better, and knowing your skill sets, gifts, abilities, etc. Man, talk about pretty cool time. So I assume it went over really well. I mean, all the interviews.
The interviews were phenomenal. This was an experiment for both of us. We were both out of our normal, production environment.
Sure.
And in a different environment. It took about 2 hours the first day to get everything working. We had 5 cameras, 3 microphones. We had 2 tables on a platform, so we had a guest in the middle.
Right.
And we did all that. He couldn't be there the next day.
Yeah.
So what's cool about his streaming software is he can have someone dial in remotely.
Yeah.
So the second day he was at his dealership doing the broadcast, the live stream to the Facebook page. And then we remoted in. I had a camera and a microphone set up, and we were like dialing in video, and it worked out.
So cool.
So if I sound a little rough,
I was going to say,
I've been on allergy medication all weekend. I got back Friday and just kind of broke down a little bit.
And is this normal for you? I mean, seasonally, it's normal for you around this time every year?
Yeah, I get hit with seasonal allergies. Every year can be different. So, and I've kind of learned how to adapt to it, but I feel really dried out. I think the climate in Denver, had a lot to do with with the drying me out. Yeah. And then coming into a rainy, more humid environment, I don't know, just triggered. But
it's like
really good. Great to be.
Good. Yeah. No, you look good. Unless you were saying something. I knew there was a hint of something. So thanks for bringing me into your life and your world. And listen, I know we don't have a lot of time. A couple of things I wanted to share with you. Yesterday, I took my 2 older kids, 10 and 8, for their first NHL hockey game. Philadelphia, of course, I'm from Philadelphia. You're originally from Philly. And man, what a great experience with the kids. Of course, they lost to the New York Rangers, but it was, 3-0 loss. They're out of the playoffs. But my kids and I just, talk about bonding and just loving life. I'm treating them to T-shirts and food and we had so much fun, Ryan. Awesome stuff. And then
you took all 3 kids?
No, I took my 2 older ones. My youngest, Zach's a little too young. He's 3. Some people are like, I'll take whoever, but he's a little too young. I think in a couple of years, I'll start taking all the kids. And so Karen stayed home with him. I took the 2 older ones. And then this morning I wake up. Today is, look at you. There we go. Boom.
I got to get that logo bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Closer you get to the camera, the larger it gets, which is always helpful. And then this morning I wake up, and it's wait do you hear this? The official launch of my new Inside Out Leadership Academy.
Awesome, bro.
Pretty cool.
You've been working hard on that.
I've been working this project for months now, putting together, and the flagship online course for the Academy is based on off my 2017 book, Lead the Way. So it's the Lead the Way course, and I'm getting it out there. And it's just, it's you know how it is when there's a certain milestone in life, whether it be personal, professional, you just want to shout to the world, especially if it's things that are very meaningful. And you've been putting a lot of energy into it. So.
Well, cool. So we're going to do this, folks. Welcome to the White Collar Therapy Show. This is show number 14. We launched last fall. This is season 2 finale. So we've done 6 shows this season. This is our 7th one, and to be consistent with our first season. So the second one started at the beginning of 2019, and we're going to do a recap of the previous 6 episodes that we did, try to put some perspective on things, and then we've got some great new changes, an announcement to make for season 3, which includes the learning system, the learning management system that Rob just talked about. So thanks for being here. I'm Ryan Girardi. This is
Rob Holman. Great to see you guys, experience you. And Ryan, always a pleasure to get together with you, because I know we always have a lot of heart stuff to share, mind stuff to share. And looking forward to diving into some things with you.
Cool. And I should probably mention, we do this for about 30 minutes every other Monday, and we record it. You can always get it on the YouTube channel. Then we release this out onto the White Collar Therapy podcast. So you can always get the podcast version. And with our new announcements, we're going to start having some new content. So let's get right into things. Let's get into season 2. Tell me what season 2 is about for you. Give us the journey that we went through, and give us your kind of, your experience of season 2.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the run. The temptation is to dive into what's ahead in season 3, because we got some amazing things, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to completely restrain myself and discipline myself to talk about season 2, because it was quite powerful and extremely practical at the same time. Now, if you look at it in 6 episodes, we started on the coattails of right after New Year's, right? Mm-hmm. With episode 1 of season 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to briefly, Ryan, just go through the titles of the 6 episodes. Then I'm going to really share with you and the audience, what was kind of going on? What was the rhythm of those 6 episodes? What was what were we after? What was happening? Because they were highly experiential, not just each episode, but collectively the entire season. So I want to be able to take people by the hand a little bit. The first episode, show number 1 of season 2, coping with life's indifference. We went into the second episode of season 2, the Council of Many. Episode 3, grief and loss part 2. Show 4, the person over the professional. Show 5, inheriting a team. Ooh, this is good. Versus building a team. Mm-hmm. And the 6th episode, leading your team from the inside out. Now, I've got to back up, Rye, because after New Year's and episode 1, I'll tell you, we were down, and we were real and we were raw, talking about what you experienced. This is episode 1 of season 2, what you experienced on New Year's Eve. The loss of a 2 or 3 year old child.
Yeah, I think a 2-year-old.
In the hotel in which you were staying. Mm-hmm. And man, did that set the tone for the entire season 2. Because when you experience such a traumatic turn of events, and you took us into your world, into your life of what you were thinking, what was going on, how that affected you. And now that just springboarded us into having just real and raw conversation in subsequent episodes. And so I'll get into where that kind of went. But take us into that again, man, not to completely rehash what you experienced, but man, was that a tone setter or what for season 2?
Well, it really was. I mean, the effects of that lasted for weeks. Yeah. And if, folks, if you missed that, go back and look for Coping with Loss. I share a harrowing experience of witnessing a mother and father and a whole family losing their 2-year-old right there in the lobby of a hotel. And it was unavoidable. And that scene kept running through my mind. And it brought up a lot of, why do things like this happen? How can life be so indifferent? And that led to something that came up in a later episode that we talked about, which is what versus why, right? What's next? So yeah, that really springboarded things. And to give you some perspective, on how we come up with our topics each week. Rob and I talk pretty much once a week, mostly on Fridays, and we throw out ideas, but we don't really decide what we're going to get into until the Friday before Monday. Yeah. We really kind of lock in on what we're going to do. So a lot of it has to do with what's happening and what anything could come up. So this was spontaneous and deep. And yeah, that really led to really 3 back-to-back conversations of working through that. It was a lot. Really
did. You know, if you look at half the season, I'm glad you mentioned that, Ryan. Half the season, the first 3 episodes, they were heart-stirring, heart-wrenching things, how they affect us, what we do, what's our perspective on them, how do we interact with people in our sphere of influence based on what we've gone through. In a sense, I would say the first 3 episodes were more on the inside. You know, my whole leadership philosophy, inside out. That was more on the inside. And we're just coming to terms. We're learning how to sift through. We're learning about how to grieve properly. So grieving can actually become a friend of ours as opposed to our worst enemy. And then I'd say in episode 4, we start lifting our head a little bit. I remember, I mean, this is pretty cool. A person over the professional. This was episode 4. And you had spoken to a colleague of yours talking about purpose, you know, as a working professional, what we go through, me personally, or even as a professional, how that affects what we do 9 to 5, how that affects us day in and day out with our sphere of influences, so we can make a positive and lasting impact in the lives around us. Yeah.
So to narrow in on that episode 4, person over the professional, was inspired by a colleague who had chosen a new career path, and he's a listener. Hopefully he's a big fan. So hopefully you're seeing this. His name's Ryan as well, but he had chosen a career path based off of what inspired him, what made him feel something inside, a sense of purpose, over the monetary gain of a different career path. That's what led to that.
Ryan, if I could jump in too real quick, just to let the viewers, the listeners, become aware of this. This is so important. Because when we learn to deal with, cope with, sift through, grieve life's indifferences and the struggles, trials, tribulations, it's actually an opportunity to live a life of more purpose and live a life on mission. And this is what your colleague Ryan was all about. And so therefore he was able to kind of pull his sleeves up and make purpose out of what he does. And so keep going. Yeah.
Like I said, all of these things we talk about ideally are influenced by our audience. Yeah. The 5th one we did, inheriting team versus building a team, was inspired by a colleague who recently got promoted into a new position, a higher up position. And he went from managing no one to now managing, I think, over 12 or 20 people nationally.
Wow.
Right. That's a huge shift. And there's a transition process you have to go through for that. So that was a great episode. And that led to leading from the inside out. Yeah. So all these things connect, right? We're always building. And what we want to do here is put a call out to those that watch and listen. We want to put a call out to reach out to Rob or myself, either directly, one-on-one, or through our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group set up for white collar therapy, separate from the event. So we have a Facebook event that you can subscribe to the show. That's strictly for the show. And then we have a group which you have to knock on and get accepted to. And that's meant to be more of a place of community to interact with each other. So yeah, all these are connected, and we want to really build on these.
Ryan, the thing I wanted to highlight about the last 2 episodes, episode 5 and 6, talking about team dynamics. We talked about inheriting team versus building a team, some common things there, but also some unique differences. At the same time, then we ended, episode 6, and we talked about leading your team from the inside out. The cool thing about the last 2 episodes they were about team dynamics in many regards, how you're connecting with teams, how you're building teams from the inside out. And the great thing is, the more that you embrace who you are, and understand a healthy grieving process and learn how to appropriately deal with whatever life throws at you, episodes, 1, 2, and 3, you start gaining and having and living out of and leading out of more purpose, more purposeful life. And when you do so now, this is where you invest in your team. It's out of this place that you invest in your team. And how you go about doing that, we talked about that in the last 2 episodes. So if you have not checked out the last 2 episodes, I mean, really the whole season 2, but the last 2 episodes were about team dynamics. And I just want to highlight this. We talked in large part about making a connection with a team member or your team collectively as a whole. It's important to be present with them. Present. There's so much when you are present with people, trust is built, trust is fostered. And this is the place where you're like, I'm climbing that mountain with them and they're climbing the mountain with us. Ain't nothing going to get in our way. And so I was greatly encouraged because we really lifted our head in the last 2 episodes and got really practical within team dynamics. I know many people listening and viewing, they're leading certainly themselves, but they're also many regards they're leading, maybe a subcontracted team member, maybe full-fledged employees and have a bunch of them. And they're just learning how to be more effective. And so we tackle a lot of those things.
Let me put a call out there to those that are business owners, self-employed. Rob, myself are that way. I have contractors, but I don't run a company with a bunch of offices. I have a studio and I have a home. And as you can see, I'm here. We're doing this show out of my home. But that's a very challenge. It's one of the most challenging places you can be in your profession is self-employed as a business owner. And the main reason is because it's easy to get in your own echo chamber and to get in this closed bubble environment where you don't get the collaboration. One of the things I love about my relationship with you, Rob, is the ongoing collaboration. Yeah. It's very challenging to get that from a client relationship. There's, it's ideal to get a client relationship that's highly collaborative, but it's very challenging. So white collar therapy is meant to be not strictly for those that are, self-employed and single business owners, but we're definitely meant to be a resource for that. We are 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Yeah. So we need to segue into what's coming ahead for season 3.
I feel like there should be a drum roll, Ryan. I really do.
I'll add it in there. I'll mix it in there. So we've been doing this every other week. Season 1, we were actually strictly in character. We actually staged it as if we were not on a live video stream, and we were strictly in character. And then we shifted. We got feedback from our listeners, from our viewers, and we shifted into more of this format.
Ryan, matter of fact, we were so much in character that someone reached out to me and said, hold on a second. Your background looks a whole lot different than Ryan's. I thought you guys were meeting in the coffee shop.
Yeah, because I had the brick background too.
Yeah, I said, we got you. No, I mean, that obviously we being in character, that's what we wanted people to, we want to invite them in the coffee shop with us. Little did they know, but we came out in season, at the end of season 1, heading into season 2. We're not actually at the same exact coffee shop. We're meeting over a cup of coffee in our own studios or home or whatever the case may be, talking about real life stuff. So yeah, anyway, I thought that was a funny thing.
And the funny thing about feedback is I had one person say the opposite. They're like, it's obvious you're not in the same coffee shop. I'm like,
come on.
So season 3, okay, we're going to continue with this format every other Monday. This 30-minute show live streamed right here, and same process. We'll focus on topics. It'll be Rob and I. What we're going to do is introduce a group coaching session, a monthly group coaching session. And we're committed to doing that in addition to the show every other week. So this will add pretty much a third Monday to the month. Now, what's going to be unique about this is it'll be less, I guess it's not meeting at the coffee shop. It's going to be maybe a bit more clinical. But Rob's book, do you have your book with you, Lead the Way?
Let me get you a copy.
I actually don't have a copy of it with me. So Rob, you released Lead the Way in 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Okay. And you're working on your second book?
Work on the second, should be out the end of this year.
Okay. And there's about 12 or so chapters in Lead the Way?
10 chapters.
10 chapters.
Yep.
So our plan is, for starters, we're going to do a group coaching session and focus on one of those chapters. It'll be mostly Rob talking through that, but we want you to come on and be a part of that live with us right here. We'll do it as a webinar, so a virtual coaching session, and you can participate in that, and you can ask questions, you can interact with us, and it'll be a slightly different environment, but you have to be signed up for that.
Right.
Go ahead, and I'll explain how to do that. Go ahead and speak to that if you can.
Yeah, I just want to share with you guys, the book has gotten the attention of leadership thinkers, business owners, executives of all different shapes and sizes throughout the world in the last year and a half. And I've been so honored and so blessed to be a part of the dialogue. And so this is yet another opportunity for our members to come on board, to have a group coaching session. And I'm going to share things about, like Ryan said, take it chapter by chapter, but there will be things that we talk about that are in the book. And they're going to be things that I have very rarely, if at all, ever spoken out about Lead the Way. I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes with Lead the Way, why I think the way I think, my inside out leadership philosophy. So in essence, you're going to get some things that other people just not have gotten up to this point. So I just invite you into the process. Love for you to be a member, because a member for us says, we're in. We believe in you guys. We believe in the white collar therapy brand, philosophy, mindset, and heart. And enough to say, I'm going to sign up. And in signing up, you're going to get the group coaching session once per month. And I'll tell you, we want to interact with you guys on this group coaching. Okay. Ryan and I have a lot to talk about my inside out leadership philosophy and Lead the Way, but we want to hear from you. We want to interact with you via social media, maybe even have you guys on an episode, on a group coaching session as well. Yeah, and we want to go back and forth, want to hear what you're thinking as I'm bringing up certain thought-provoking things, heart-stirring things that impact you both personally and professionally. So we want to invite you guys into this world.
So here's what you do. Go to whitecollartherapy.com. That'll bring you to this show page on autoconversion. And you see it here. It says become a free member today, and go ahead and register with the show. Now that'll tag you in the system. And then when we have it scheduled, our first one we have scheduled for Monday, the 22nd of April. So we'll have one more show like this. And then the week after that, we'll have a group coaching session. So you'll see that added here shortly. Okay. You'll see that added here. It won't be streamed live. You have to register to attend. And if you can't make it, that's fine. We'll still record it. But even better is we'll make kind of, we'll clean it up a little bit for a show and make that recording available, again, only to people that are registered. So go to whitecollartherapy.com. If you haven't been there, then notice there's lots of links here. There's the playlist on YouTube to all of our shows. There's a link to the podcast, a link to the recurring Facebook event, and a link to the Facebook group as well. You can buy Rob's book. Okay, it's all in there. Also want to mention the White Collar Therapy store. So what we've decided to do is everyone, well, actually, Rob, we got to get into your learning center. Yeah. Now that I think about it. Yeah. So go ahead. Let's go ahead and introduce that, and then we'll tie in the whole discount thing. Yeah.
So, which I mentioned earlier part of this show. So the Learning Center has everything to do. My book came out in 2017. The impact has been there with leaders all over the world. The Lead the Way course, online course, is my flagship course for my Inside Out Leadership Academy. And that basically is an opportunity, 16 sessions. And I have advanced video teachings on my Lead the Way, Inside Out Leadership Philosophy, highly interactive exercises, quizzes. I provide keynote talks I've given, workshops I've given. So it is full-fledged Rob Holman to the max with things that are on my heart. And in the midst of that, Ryan, it's a way to interact with these inside out leadership principles. And that's what we want, because these are reproducible and practical principles that are not just meant for you as the listener or the viewer. They're meant for people in your sphere of influence. So it's a way to interact with these principles. And I'm telling you, I just finished this project, and it is powerful. And so I want to invite people into that as well.
Now, I'm on your Lead the Way book site. Is the Learning Center linked to from here?
No, it's not linked to there. If you go to, here's where you can link it up. Just go to insideoutleadershipacademy.com, insideoutleadershipacademy.com. And
that's not long.
Direct website where it'll have all the information you need. Yeah.
And so people can register. They can sign up for that now, right?
That's right. Yep.
I spelled something wrong. Inside Out Leadership
Academy.com.
It needs the W's.
Yep. Let's see.
That'd be my guess. Yeah, it needs the W's.
Okay.
So this course, how long is the course, Rob?
This course is 16 sessions, approximately 35 plus hours to finish and complete the course. And you see, this is the main site for the course. It says a get started button, has a video underneath the top section here as well that you can go into.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And now you have this priced at $995 flat fee, lifetime fee, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then as a special offer for white collar therapy, we're offering it at a special price.
Special price of $295. It's a 70% discount. And all you have to do when you go to the checkout register, you go to the checkout page and put in this special code, which will be all lowercase WCT 19. That's for white collar therapy 19, WCT lowercase letters 19. Put that in the special discount code. It'll take $700 off your price and you're left with just $295 for the learning system.
So 70% discount. So $295 will be your special offer for pretty much for the month of April is the plan, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So folks, huge opportunity there. And we've also, I was bringing up the White Collar Therapy store, which is linked to from the site as well. And we are going to set up a promo code to give you a 25% discount from anything in the store when you purchase Rob's course with promo code WCT19. So yeah, that's good stuff.
Ryan, this is where we got these beautiful mugs. I don't know if we want to.
The logos are a bit small, but we're working on that. So we'll fix that.
We're a work in progress.
We'll have to redesign everything. Yeah. Okay. So season 3, group coaching session. First one, April 22nd. Hopefully it's better to be there so you can interact. It's not streamed live. You have to be registered to get access to that. So go to whitecollartherapy.com for that. And we'll be going through different chapters of Rob's book, Lead the Way. Well, we're at the top of the hour.
I can't believe it, my friend. And I am so looking forward to season number 3, which will begin 2 weeks from today. And season 3 of White Collar Therapy. If people thought season 1 and season 2 were good, man, we are building a lot of momentum here and people are beginning to interact with us. We're learning, we're getting feedback. I don't know about you, Ryan. I feel a tremendous amount of momentum and steam behind us. And I really feel like season 3, I'm not just saying this, I feel like it's going to be the best yet as it relates to the content we're going to cover, the heart-to-heart conversation we're going to have. So join with us, everyone.
Yeah. And chances are it's going to warrant launching a White Collar Therapy website. So something else to keep in mind too, because right now it's all interwoven into auto conversion, which is fine. But Facebook might not be the ultimate place of community, and we got to bring that into one cohesive place. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Ryan Girardi here, Rob Holman, White Collar Therapy Show. Let us know any feedback, comments that you have. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll be back same time, same place 2 weeks from now.